Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and NewsChannel 5.
Good morning, everyone. The Glenville community is undergoing a major revitalization led by the Famicos Foundation. Its Director of Public Information, Denise Marsh, is here to tell us all about the renovations, green space efforts, and marketplace. Then Levin Furniture Sales Manager Kristen Fitchko and Executive Director of Cleveland Furniture Bank, Tom Gagan, will tell us about Levin Furniture's community efforts. And later in the program, Walsh University students Justine Harrison and Pacifique Niyonzima will tell us about a group of students from Rwanda who are currently visiting their campus. Good morning again, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin with Denise Marsh, Director of Public Information for Famicos Foundation. Good to see you again, Denise.
Good to see you.
Tell me about the mission of Famicos Foundation. What is it?
Well, our mission is to help individuals, families in the community with neighborhood revitalization, growth in the community, jobs. We help with social services. We are a plethora of opportunity for the people within the Glenville community.
Yeah, and you work primarily in the Glenville neighborhood of Cleveland?
Correct. We also, we do have, our charter is for other areas, but we are the Community Development Corporation for the Glenville community.
And I should add for our public who may not know exactly where Glenville is, it is a northeast Cleveland neighborhood about 5 miles from a public square.
Correct.
It's where I grew up, so I know it quite well. You've got a lot of improvements that are going on in
Absolutely.
the neighborhood. Tell me about what's going on in Glenville.
Absolutely. Famicos Foundation has been very vital in doing rehabs of some of the neighborhood houses in the Glenville community, right on 105th Street, on East Boulevard, and also on Ashbury Avenues. We've taken abandoned houses and rebuilt them basically, and then turned them into market place houses for the community.
Traditionally, it has been a strong neighborhood with solid housing stock. I mean, the houses are old, but they were built strong and firm way back when. And you are redeveloping that and getting those houses back on their feet.
Correct.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you're, I know you're proud of that, but what are some of the other things Famicos Foundation and the Glenville neighborhood are proud about?
We're proud about some of our historic renovations. We have renovated the old Notre Dame Academy right on the corner of Ansel Road and Superior, and that is the location of our headquarters at this point. We also renovated some other schools that have just been deteriorating over the years, and we have turned them into senior housing, and we have housing all over the city, actually.
Now, you recently had a fundraiser, a very successful fundraiser, I would imagine.
That's correct.
And that's how you are able to keep on doing what you're doing in the Glenville neighborhood, these fundraisers. Do you find that there are new residents moving into the neighborhood?
There are. We have a lot of people who come from Cleveland Clinic, other people who want close proximity to downtown neighborhood. They come in and find that our housing stock is phenomenal compared to other areas in the city, and they can find reasonably priced houses right on East Boulevard, on East 105th, you know, and they can move in quite frequently at a lower cost than they can in some of the other neighborhoods.
You mentioned East Boulevard. That is one of the primary thoroughfares through the Glenville neighborhood where the cultural gardens, the internationally known cultural gardens, are located. Just a wonderful, wonderful green space there. So you build on that history of this neighborhood, correct?
Absolutely. We actually are one of the sponsors of the One World Festival, which took place over 2 2 days in
Yeah.
in September. So, I mean, we definitely use that space and encourage our residents and others to come to that space because it's a jewel, and a lot of people don't even realize that it's there.
How did that Gateway 105 Farmers Market go during the, how did it operate, how well did it do during the growing season when produce was being sold right there?
We did a phenomenal job. The people who run that for us did a phenomenal job with bringing in vendors from all over, from as far as Chesterland farms, and they came in and sold corn and all kinds of produce. And also we had some local vendors who were able to sell soap and all kinds of things. And we operated that over the entire summer on Fridays between 3 to 7, and then as the weather starts to change, we brought it inside into our offices, and the last weekend for that was last weekend.
Yeah, okay. We're going to continue our conversation with Denise Marsh, Public Information Director for Famicos Foundation, but I want to put a phone number on the screen of 216-791-6476. You see at the bottom of the screen there, and you can get more information on everything we're talking about, or you can go to the website, Famicos, Famicos.org. Where does that name come from?
It's about families, and it's about families being cooperatively engaged in their community, and that's what we hope. We hope that families are able to find hope and find help when they need help at Famicos.
And that's what you do. You're there for the family, and you're there to help the development of the neighborhood as well.
That's correct.
Yeah. Leave us with a final thought on why you think this is so vital.
I think that any community is only as good as its people, and we can only work together. If we can work together, we can make Glenville a better community, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to work together to revitalize this neighborhood that was once considered the Gold Coast of Cleveland.
It was called the Gold Coast when I was a little boy. Indeed it was.
Yes.
In fact, it's the home of Superman. I always say those two boys who invented Superman in 1938 went to Glenville High School, lived in the Glenville neighborhood.
That's right.
Superman was not born on Krypton. He was born in Glenville.
That's
in Cleveland.
correct.
Okay. Many thanks, Denise Marsh.
Thank you so much.
Tell everybody from Famicos we said hi.
Thank you.
Always good to see you. Take care, my friend. I'm going to continue our conversation here on Kaleidoscope. Coming up next, helping the community one project at a time. But first, these words. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Levin Furniture has a history of giving to those who are in need. Its sales manager, Kristen Fitchko, is here with the executive director of the Cleveland Furniture Bank, Tom Gagan. They'll discuss the Levin Furniture community efforts and explain how individuals benefit from the Cleveland Furniture Bank. Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
For having us.
Tell me, let's begin with you, Kristen Fitchko. Tell us about Levin Furniture's community outreach efforts.
Well, Levin Furniture is a local company, so Robert Levin is the president, and he is really committed to giving back in a ton of different ways to the local communities where he lives and works. And Cleveland is, Northeast Ohio is really, really near and dear to his heart. So along with many other charities that we partner with, the Cleveland Furniture Bank is such a natural fit for us to sponsor with them, being that we have furniture and there are people that need furniture.
Yeah, indeed. Tell me, Tom Gagan, tell me about the role. What does the Furniture Bank do?
The Furniture Bank was created in 2006 to provide furniture and mattresses to families in need who were trying to rebuild their lives. We currently work with 220 agencies and organizations throughout Northeast Ohio who are helping these families restart their lives, so to speak, out of some major difficulty they've had. And we are kind of the last piece of the puzzle. We provide furniture to those folks as they find a place to live and reestablish their family life.
Now tell me about this relationship between Levin Furniture and the Cleveland Furniture Bank now.
Well, when we started, obviously the natural location to talk to were the furniture stores, and Levin was the first one that we approached because they are probably the largest in Northeast Ohio. And we simply went to them asking Robert Levin if we could put some of our literature in their stores, if we could have them refer people who might be buying new furniture but had items that were still usable but they didn't want anymore, to donate them to the Furniture Bank so that we could help the needy families we're serving. Well, it started there in 2006, and it's grown tremendously since then. Levin Furniture not only still continues to refer their clients to us, their customers, they also provide us thousands of mattresses every year that we can reuse in our program. They provide us truckloads of furniture, scratched and damaged. And they also do provide some financial support to us, which is very important.
Yeah. Now, your company does not have to do this, but you've elected to do this.
Absolutely, and we certainly don't have to do this, but when, you know, like I said, Levin's is so committed to our communities, and when especially this time of year and you realize how blessed we all are, it's very nice to really realize there's so many people out there that really need this. And you know, kudos to Robert Levin and the whole Levin team, because we love doing this, and it's so exciting, and it trickles down into the stores and all the employees, and they get excited to knowing that we contribute to such a great cause. You know, you hear the sales associates when the customers are coming in talking about replacing their furniture, and they say, well, what are you doing with your old furniture? And well, we're going to throw it away. I'll talk to the Cleveland Furniture Bank. You know, they can come pick it up, and there's families that can use it. So that's something that we do in every single store.
I will tell you, that's exactly what my family did. We just recently donated some furniture to the Cleveland Furniture Bank because it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I want to put some phone numbers on the screen where people can get more information we're talking about. 216-459-2265 is the phone number that you can call there for the Cleveland Furniture Bank. You can also go to clevelandfurniturebank.org, and you can also go to levinfurniture.com. Both of those will give you more information on everything we're talking about. There's something important about sitting down at a piece of furniture in your home. Everybody needs a place where they can go and sit down and discuss whatever the family needs to discuss. Just as we're sitting at this table, we're sitting at a kitchen table, we need to get families together and sit down and talk about things. That's part of the philosophy, isn't it?
That is exactly it. And I always remember early on when we started our program talking to some of the caseworkers from agencies that were working with homeless individuals. They said that they would get them placed in an apartment or duplex and go back 3 or 4 months later and no furniture for those people, and it was almost guaranteed they'd end up back on the street. So furniture becomes the place that they congregate around, whether it's a table, whether it's a couch or a chair. And so that's been our philosophy, is to try to help these people who need stuff to continue to grow in their lifestyle.
Yeah. How do people hook up with you link up with you? That's a better word. How do people link up with the Cleveland Furniture Bank so that they could profit from this and be one of the recipients of that?
As I said, we currently work with about 220 agencies, organizations, churches throughout Northeast Ohio who have signed up to refer people to us. And so those agencies, those caseworkers, will contact us and say, we have a client who needs a couch, a chair, a bed, a dresser, whatever. And they come in, and they actually come in like a shopping tour and select their own furniture.
And you're telling people who come into your furniture company to buy new furniture, what are you doing with your old stuff?
Yes, that, and not only that, we also are donating truckloads of furniture that we have that we may not be able to sell at a retail level. So something that might have a minor scratch on it that we can't return, that we damaged, and you know, with an operation the size of ours, it turns into thousands and thousands of pieces of furniture that we are just essentially donating to the Cleveland Furniture Bank so that they can either sell them in their store to help fund the ones that they give away, or give it away to the needy.
Yeah. Thank goodness Levin Furniture is there, and thank goodness the Cleveland Furniture Bank is there, and thank goodness these two organizations have linked up to help people out there who may not be able to help themselves. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast. We truly appreciate it. 216-459-2265, clevelandfurniturebank.org, or levinfurniture.com. More information on everything we're talking about. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
Okay. Taking a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about Rwanda after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope, and glad to have you aboard today. Walsh University students Justine Harrison and Pacifique Niyozima have been working on a special project. They're hosting I Debate Rwanda, a group of students from Rwanda who have been trained to change their own communities through critical thinking and creative problem solving. I Debate Rwanda will be at Walsh University through tomorrow, November the 24th. Good to have you with us.
Thank
Justine
you.
Harrison, a student at Walsh, and Pacifique Niyonzima, a student at Walsh University. Thank you so much. Tell me about I Debate Rwanda. What is it?
Well, basically, I Debate Rwanda is a group of youth, people from Rwanda, and they created this group to teach their youth how to create or how to think critically and creatively to solve problems.
And so that's one of the things you're doing. You are from Rwanda, right?
Yeah.
Pacific. Tell me about the need for this.
Basically, I Debate Rwanda started in 2012. It was just about to train the youth of Rwanda to think critically and to develop the public speaking. As you know, Rwanda experienced genocide.
Yes.
So they train youth, like younger generation, to make sure these bad things will never happen again. So it's also together the Eastern Africa, so there is youth in Rwanda, in Kigali. They train the students in Rwanda, and also it's gather the students from all countries in Eastern Africa and get together.
Right. So you're going to have students coming in across the country that are going to stay here in the United States. What's a typical day going to be like for them here at Walsh University?
Well, Walsh is, we're hosting the Rwanda students, and we're going to try to expose them to different leaderships, styles of leadership and skills they could apply for the future and bring back to their country. We're actually going to be bringing them to Cleveland and actually talk to some organizations like the National Development Leadership Program, and they're also going to meet with Honorable Michael R. White. And they're also going to be exposed to some leadership in the Walsh community as well. I know they're planning on meeting the brothers of our university, as well as the Northeast Ohio Student Venture Fund.
So you're going to meet with the former mayor Michael
Yes.
White. Yeah, he'll be able to help a great deal and give a lot of insight. This is vital to you. What are you studying at Walsh University, which is in the Canton area? What are you studying now?
I'm studying education and international relations.
So this is all part of what you want to do anyway, is have this relationship among nations getting together, talking about their concerns and helping nations become better, correct?
Exactly. Before I was in environmental science major, and then after I figured out I want to do something with education to here and in my country, to develop like good relationship between education here and back home, so we can take the knowledge here and go back home and develop education. Maybe we can do like exchange students and.
Yeah. Do we have a bunch of students, a lot of students involved in this at Walsh University?
Right now, we're based out of a small committee, and each of us are responsible for planning certain aspects. We have people that are organizing hosts, events, and we're planning on tying all the Walsh community into it in the end as they stay with us.
This helps the students, the American students as well,
Yes.
doesn't it? How does this help the American students to do this?
I think it's really important to bring in different perspectives from different countries. And what I really can take away from this project is I'm working with some of our future leaders in the world. It's not just the United States, it's something much bigger than Walsh University. So by interacting with these students and learning from them and teaching them stuff that they'll be able to apply to their future, it's it's beneficial to everybody, really.
We're going to put a phone number on the screen. I want to continue our conversation with Pacifique Niyonzima and Justine Harrison. 216-459-2265. You can get more information on everything we're talking about, or you can go to debaterwanda.org, right?
I think it should be correct.
Yeah, debaterwanda.org.
Yes.
Right there on the bottom of the screen, DEBETERWANDA. Debate Rwanda, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Why do you think this is so vital to you and to the other folks who will be profiting from this in Rwanda?
I think it's such a wonderful idea to train, to teach younger generation what happened, and to make sure this will never happen. It can build a better future of the country.
And so you're going to have the big event is going to be from November the 19th through the 24th. You stretch
Yes.
all those days.
Yes, we have activities planned for every single day.
Began on the 19th and goes all the way to the 24th
They
of
arrive the
November.
19th, yes.
Right at Rwanda University, right at Walsh University
Yes.
in Canton. Thank you so much, Justine Harrison, who's a student at Walsh University, and Pacific Niyonzima, who's a student at Walsh University from Rwanda. Good to have you
Exactly.
both on the broadcast.
Thank
We
you.
wish you much success with this. I'm certain it'll be fine. Going to take a break in just a moment. We'll be back with Samia Bray of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Time now for the Morning Exchange segment. That means the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. And with us is Samia Bray, Senior Manager for Emerging Programs and Institutional Advancement at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. And I know you're here to talk about MyCom.
Indeed, and also on behalf of our CEO, Marcia Maka, we want to say good morning to everyone in the listening audience. And she asked me to come and talk about MyCom, which is my commitment to my community. As you know, we've been offering workshops and professional development to out-of-school time providers all year long, and this trend is continuing through the month of December. So we just want people to know that if you are working with youth and you're interested in some professional development before that year ends, that we have some workshops available to you at no cost.
Give me an idea what kind of workshops we're talking about, my commitment to my community.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Leon. We just finished one called Reframing Conflict. And even though it's about teaching youth how to reframe conflict, we found that a lot of the adults had some personal things that they could use it for as well. So, for example, one of the questions that came out was, is it more important to be right or to be happy and committed to your purpose?
Oh, I see. So you get people to thinking about that.
Absolutely, because I mean, as we talk about youth development, if you're going to teach a child how to do something, a skill that would last them a lifetime, it's important that we model that as well as teach that. So we're teaching active learning, and we're also doing a year-end wrap-up of all the workshops that people have done with us, how you take that information, put it all together to increase your effectiveness with youth.
Wonderful. Thank you for being on the broadcast to tell us about that.
Absolutely.
We're partnered with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. That's why we're always at the bottom of the broadcast we have somebody from the Urban League. By the way, its phone number is 622-0999. That's in the 216 area code. You can find all the programs of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. What a wonderful job they do. Samia Bray, many thanks.
Thank you, Leon.
I'm Leon Bibb. Take care.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.